Hey True Believers, Englentine here with another batch of new comic book reviews. These are comics that should still be on the shelf in the shops at the time of the recording. And hey, this will actually work as a good back issue in the future, so there you go. Anyway, usually try to do an independent, a Marvel, a DC, and I think I've actually covered that in this particular video. So kick back, relax, let's get this party started. And the first one we're going to talk about is Deceased Dead Planet number 2. Okay, I'm enjoying the DC storyline. I'm a shill for this. Granted, I didn't like the first issue of the digital, or the first issue of the digital only thing, but after a while, holy crap, that's actually taken off. This, on the other hand, issue number 1 left us on a huge cliffhanger. It doesn't jump right to it in this book. As a matter of fact, they kind of deal with Flame from Justice League International and all that, and we get to see the Shadow Pact a little bit more, Justice League Dark, depending on whatever era you're from. And they come in, and you find out that they've been taking care of the dead and all, and it's, gosh darn it, this book is cool. I mean, that's a real, just one word to describe it would be cool. Now, you see Zatanna, and she's dealing and she's doing so many different things that are almost immediate. She would definitely be somebody you keep in the background. You always see her, the art and everything. Her momentum is going forward towards the threat, and then she'll say a word and like awesome things happen. You got Swamp Thing popping up and immediately taking out dozens, if not hundreds, of the infected. I'm thinking, you keep these guys in the back, protect them, and just have them take care of everything. They're your archers, guys. Why are you sending them into the fray, into the danger? It just seems like that's magic anyway. Look, I'm getting off on a tangent. Look, the story's still cool. I'm very happy about that. It shows that there's some thought behind what each character would be doing in this particular situation and how they would react to a team. And that's, I gotta say, it's very cohesive thinking that you don't see in too many Marvel or DC comic books these days. Adventure Man number 2. So Adventure Man is Matt Fraction's independent comic book about a mother and her son who looks through old books to find out about an old superhero. That's about it. This is exactly the same as the first issue, except for now we're supposed to know who the characters are, because they should have been introduced in the first issue. But if you remember, one of the things I complained about in the first issue was that it was so much for style over substance that it forgot to really introduce who we're talking to, who we're following, and so I felt it was kind of hollow. This is exactly the same thing, except for there's not even a little bit of an attempt to get to know the person beyond their curiosity for these books that they're finding out that tell the story of superheroes past. And I'm sorry, but it just, I'm done. I'm done with Adventure. Well, I don't know. It's a 5-issue miniseries. Maybe I could make it through. Maybe it'll get better, but I have no motivation to pick up issue number 3, I should say. Look, they do this thing that happened in The Shadow where he walks up to a building and all of a sudden he can see it and nobody else in the city could see it because they were clouding men's minds. They take that idea from the movie that happened like, what, 20-something years ago. So there's not a lot of original ideas. Granted, I got to admit, I really do like the art. I really do like the coloring in here. It's supposed to, it's almost like it gives you this Norman Rockwell sort of nostalgic feeling. And yes, there's a hurricane going on, so you might hear thundering and lightning outside. And the art is so much better than the story, gang. Yeah, it's really coming down. But there's so much potential here. And it seems like not only does it not reach it, but Matt Fraction isn't really interested in reaching it. Marvel's Snapshots. This stars Captain America. Now, Marvel Snapshots to me have been hit and miss, and now middle. I love the Submariner, the Namor one. I was not a fan of the Human Torch, but this one is right down the middle. The art didn't thrill me, I got to admit. It's kind of muddled and clunky looking to me. Kind of reminding me of Secret Empire with the graininess and everything. But the storyline was kind of interesting. This kid is good at electronics. There's an attack on the city. It's a mad bomb. People go crazy. And he wants to help, so he joins this AIM, only to find out that dun dun dun, they're the creators of the mad bomb, and now he is working on the next mad bomb. And they really do prey on his fears. They prey on everything to recruit him, and that's what a lot of groups like, say, Antifa and all that kind of stuff do, where they're like, oh no, we'll be the ones that you could trust. And then of course the kid finds out he can't trust them. So he goes about trying to sabotage the mad bomb, at the same time avoid being captured by the people, and in come the Avengers to help. And that's pretty much the storyline. It's okay. I mean, it is very, 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 very okay. I didn't feel too connected to the kid. I didn't feel too connected to what was going on, the action. Even though Captain America, it's on the cover, he's not very much in the comic book itself. So even that particular connection that I've come into the book with is kind of severed. And I think that's one of the big problems. There's nothing really to grab onto to get an emotional response. Next up, we have Batman and the Outsiders number 14. Man, it's kind of sad this series is being canceled, and it is. I follow Brian Hill, the writer of this, on Twitter for some reason, and he seems like a good guy. So far, he hasn't gone crazy yet, but and I stress yet. This is continuing the Batman and the Outsiders, the storyline with Ra's al Ghul, which seems to be going on now for about a year. But they're all sitting around, what do you want to do? You got Lady Shiva, who's talking to people saying, hey, look, none of you guys are doing anything. Batman's gonna make you, you're all like his lapdogs, blah, 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 yada, yada. Katana challenges her to a couple of fights in order to make decisions. She apparently loses. Signal and Batgirl are they're considering, wait a second, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do we follow Lady Shiva and just rush right into the fray and attack Ra's al Ghul? Or do we sit back with Batman, because apparently he's got a plan, but he's not letting us in on it? And that's the whole situation here. It's actually a really good character book while moving the plot forward, and I've got to tell you, congratulations to you. That's actually hard to do for some people, and I think this book pulls it off flawlessly. I especially like the twist, which I'm not going to reveal here, but it's a character twist. It's not a big bum kind of plot deal. It is a twist on the characters while remaining in character. So, Brian, congratulations. I think that was just a really well done story, sir. The Boys number 2. Okay, so I get it. I'm not a big fan, all right? Just not a big fan of the storyline in the comics. Like, I love the TV show. I think the TV show is actually done well, but I also think it's because it creates sympathetic characters, even with Billy Butcher. The problem with this is every time I read the comic, it seems they're trying to one-up the last issue as far as just being crude and showing, oh my gosh, isn't this something you never expected to see in a superhero comic? And that happens here as well. But the problem with that is after a while, you kind of get numb to it. You expect it. And so even the over the top, out of left field kind of stuff just seems like it's walking right down the middle of the road, being boring. Granted, there are some fun scenes here. I like the way he dispatches a Thor by throwing him into an oven, knowing that because the guy's immortal, he's going to heal. That was a fun way to look at things, and it was also to establish Billy Butcher as somebody not to be messed with, and I appreciate that. But overall, the book just, I don't know, I find The Boys to be lacking. Alrighty, now, like I usually say, I like to sum up, and I'll put the covers from my favorite to my very least. I've got to start with Deceased, such an awesome book this week, and then I've got to move on to Batman and the Outsiders. I think it's just a very tight story that's being told with character, Granted, we're all building up to the big finale, but still awesome. Next up is Marvel Snapshots. For as much as I said, it's kind of middle of the road, but at least it's middle of the road. It was entertaining and then forgettable. I gotta tell you, Adventure Man continues to stumble, in my opinion. Great art, beautiful art, just doesn't have a story that lives up to it. And then finally, of course, The Boys. God bless you if you're a fan. I have not yet found a book from The Boys that really makes me glom onto it. So there you go, gang. That's my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you haven't already, and look at one of the videos that are popping up around you right now. If you'd like to help out the channel, go on over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.